So, you're considering a move to the Charleston area, or at least Charleston, South Carolina is on your radar. You've probably heard of the historic downtown and wonderful beaches, and you may have even visited, but deciding on where to move here is another story. It can be overwhelming to try to figure out where in Charleston you actually want to live in. Now, when I say Charleston, I'm referring to the Greater Charleston area, which encompasses this whole circle here, from the coastline to Somerville and a bit beyond. In this 3-part series, I'll be giving you an overview of each area within Charleston, so that you can see if it might be a good fit for you. In this first video, I'll be going over downtown Charleston, Mount Pleasant, Isle of Palms, Sullivans Island, and Daniel Island. In part 2, I'll be talking about North Charleston, Hanahan, Somerville, Ladson, Goose Creek, and Moncks Corner. And then in the last video, part 3, I'll be talking about West Ashley, Johns Island, Kiowa and Seabrook Islands, James Island, and Folly Beach. I do recommend visiting first so that you can see the areas for yourself. I've had people visit and have completely different opinions of the same area, so my goal is to give you a factual overview that you can draw on with your own experiences. One more disclaimer is that, as a realtor, I legally cannot talk about crime or say whether schools are good or bad due to fair housing laws. So if crime and school data is important to you, I recommend turning to your friend Google, as I'd rather not lose my real estate license. Okay, now let's get started. I'll first be talking about the peninsula of Charleston and then work my way counterclockwise. First up is downtown Charleston. Downtown Charleston is the peninsula surrounded by the Charleston Harbor. Founded in the 1600s, it's full of history and brings in a lot of tourism every year. It's known for its beautiful old homes, cobblestone streets, and horse-drawn carriages. One of the best parts about downtown Charleston is that it's one of the few areas that are actually walkable. Since it was built before cars were even a thing, it's pretty pedestrian friendly, so you'll see tourists and locals making their way throughout the downtown area year-round. A lot of the population of people living downtown is also college students, with there being College of Charleston, the Citadel, Medical University of South Carolina, and more. There is also so much to do in the peninsula of Charleston. There are endless world-class restaurants that you can try, featuring seafood and southern cooking, beautiful historic parks like Hampton Park, Battery Park, Waterfront Park. There's a South Carolina aquarium and many historical museums, the Charleston River Dogs baseball stadium. Need I go on? As far as living in Charleston, it's the 5th most expensive area, with a median sales price as of the end of 2021 of $770,000. You can find affordable condos and some homes that are more run down, that aren't in the hub of tourist traffic, but you can also find multi-million-dollar homes overlooking the water and featuring beautiful architecture. The houses tend to be closer together since there's less space to build on in the peninsula. And in recent years, many more condo buildings, apartment complexes, affordable housing units, commercial buildings have all been popping up in the area. One downside about living in downtown Charleston is the flooding. The peninsula tends to get hit the most when it rains hard in the summer or when hurricanes hit, as the homes are built really close to sea level. Overall, the peninsula of Charleston has a lot to offer, especially for those who like exploring history and being close to the hustle and bustle of a downtown. But it still has a small city feel, which is nice. Alright, now let's drive over the Ravenel Bridge to get to Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant can be divided into 2 parts, north of the Isle of Palms connector and south of the Isle of Palms connector. When you first cross over the bridge, you'll reach the south portion of Mount Pleasant, which is where it was first developed. So here you'll find the Old Village, which is one of the more expensive areas of Mount Pleasant, but it's very close to all of the fun things that Charleston has to offer, as it's close to downtown, the beaches, Shem Creek, and more. Shem Creek is located just a few miles from the bridge and has fisheries and restaurants overlooking the water. You can also rent kayaks and go paddleboarding or drive your boat through Shem Creek itself. It's a great way to enjoy the water and the food in Mount Pleasant. There are also a lot of businesses in Mount Pleasant. You can find local businesses of all kinds, mixed with residential communities. Getting closer to the Isle of Palms connector, there are more neighborhoods, and there's Town Center, which is an outdoor shopping outlet. In this south part of Mount Pleasant, the median home price is $590,000, which is a little more than if you go further up Mount Pleasant, where the median sales price is $577,000. But still, it's a relatively expensive area when you're considering Charleston as a whole. Now, as we drive further up Highway 17, we'll reach northern Mount Pleasant, which has a very suburban feel. What used to be farmland is now residential communities that are master planned with trails, ponds, and schools nearby. This is where a lot of the new construction is going. as older Mount Pleasant is already mostly built out. It's a lovely place to be close to the water, and you have everything that you could need with stores and dining. Now if we go to Isle of Palms, you're reaching one of the top 5 most expensive areas of Charleston, for good reason. The median sales price is $1.25 million, and it's made up of beachfront properties, a few condo complexes, homes along the intercoastal waterways. There are some restaurants and public areas, which you can see more of in my video about the beaches of Charleston. And then there's Wild Dunes, which is a resort community at the end of Isle of Palms that you can only get into with a pass. There are a lot of vacation rentals on Isle of Palms, so it can be a great opportunity for investors who want to buy a beachfront property that they can rent out and make some income during the summer, and then get to enjoy in the winter months when the tourism season slows. There are also local homeowners, so people do live on the island. Now we can drive over the small bridge onto Sullivans Island, which is actually the most expensive area of Charleston, with a median home price of $2.95 million. A lot of celebrities live on Sullivans Island. One of the draws of Sullivans Island for many locals is that short-term rentals are not allowed here. Other than a few properties that have been grandfathered into allowing this, Sullivans Island is a haven for people who want to actually enjoy the low country lifestyle without vacation renters moving in and out every week of the homes. There's also a lot to do on Sullivans Island itself. There's a small strip of restaurants and historical sites like the lighthouse and Fort Moultrie. And of course the water activities are endless. Sullivans Island has more of a tight-knit community because of the fact that less tourists can stay here. Now that we've explored Mount Pleasant, Isle of Palms, and Sullivans Island, let's jump up to Daniel Island. Daniel Island is actually one of the newer areas of development in Charleston. It's all been developed and built since 2000 as a master planned community. It's also expensive. The median sales price is $995,000. It's built as a self-sustaining island, so it has a small downtown with a grocery store, doctor's offices, restaurants, and more. It can be split into 2 areas. One area has the schools and residential homes, and you'll find kids and their parents walking and biking to school every day. Daniel Island is studded with parks and ponds, which makes it a very scenic place to live. On the other side, there's a golf community, so the homes are even more expensive and they can be on the golf course. Waterfront is a new section of Daniel Island where owners on Daniel Island can take part in the new boat landing. On Daniel Island, you might be a bit farther than downtown and the beaches, but not by much. You're still within 30 minutes of both. If you travel up the peninsula of Daniel Island more, you'll reach Wando, which was once, and mostly still is, a very rural setting. But more new construction is going here as people want to be close to Daniel Island, Mount Pleasant, and the beaches. Point Hope is another area that's being developed between Daniel Island and Wando, which is expected to have thousands of new homes in the coming years. This could be great for people who want to be close to these areas but don't want to pay the price tag it takes to be in Daniel Island or Mount Pleasant.
And that's all for part 1 of this Charleston area series. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get notified for parts 2 and 3. The areas I covered today are some of the most sought after real estate in the Charleston area, so the prices are high, but the next few videos will cover more affordable areas of Charleston. Thank you for watching!